Hi, my dear parents. Welcome to Growing Right, a podcast by Ankura Group of Hospitals, where we are trying to deliberate into specialized pediatric care and its role in improving children's health, how it plays a role in children's health on a day to day basis. So, it is always a challenge because now pediatrics is more diversified. It is not only about fevers, vaccinations, there's a lot more associated with pediatrics. So, as a part of it, we have a group of specialized people in pediatrics, people who have specialized, subspecialized in pediatrics, like different fields of pediatrics, who are with us at associated with Ankura, who will be coming to this podcast and giving their insights on regarding children's health and what else we can do and what to do and what not to do. So I'm Dr. Suman, consultant pediatrician, senior consultant here at Ankura Hospital, and I've been practicing for the last 20 years. And my interest is general pediatrics, pediatric allergy, pediatric asthma, pediatric nutrition, and growth disorders in children. Today, I have with me one of the most charming and one of the most friendly, child friendly, parent friendly pediatric endocrinologist with me, Dr. Monica. Welcome, Dr. Monica, to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Dr. Suman sir.
It's
I'm really excited and I'm eagerly looking forward to share my insights.
Thank you for being here, Ma. It's actually for me, it's a blessing in disguise that you are with us because still you are, when we didn't have you. As a matter of fact, I had a lot of challenges as a pediatrician because a lot of parents come to us with a lot of growth related issues.
Right.
Some might be overwhelmed, means the parents might be overly concerned. There might not be any issue at all. As I've figured out when I've started referring patients to you,
Right.
because parents show so much of concern. As a pediatrician, we are not alarmed, but sometimes we do get alarmed because of the concerns of the parents. We do send it across to you, and you just dissipate it, saying that there's nothing in this child. The child is
Right.
absolutely doing good. I think that's a blessing to always have people who can share knowledge, help parents out. So thanks a lot for being with us, and thanks a lot in this podcast. I'm sure by the end of this show, a lot of parents would be educated regarding their growth concerns of the child.
Sure, sir. Yeah.
So to begin with, let me start off with what is the current problem right now. What is that I am facing as a pediatrician,
Yeah.
and then you can take us whether you are also coming across the same data and what to do and where to go about. So the data which I got, I'll tell you my story out here, what it was when I was a child and what it is now to be a child, because
Yes.
parents need to understand that.
Yeah.
See, I am an 80s kid, right? So in my class, when I look at my class and how the children were at that point of time, if I look at it, most of the children, means majority of the children, were leaner, and there was
Right.
only one or two children who were obese,
Right.
and they were easily identified.
Correct.
So that child will be easily identified by the staff and the school and everybody. And I believe even those children were overweight, not obese.
Yes.
So the shocker for me is when I took my child to the school when he was around 4 years to join him in his nursery. I was shocked to see that most of the children in class are more taller than him,
Right.
and they were much weight is much more than what he was. See, me being a
Yes.
pediatrician, I'll see a wide spectrum of patients, no
Correct.
doubt. So me being a pediatrician and my wife also being a doctor, we also take care of the diet and aspects and all these
Yes.
aspects. So we are definitely make sure that what is going in. But we were shocked for the first time. As being a doctor, I was also surprised. Am I underfeeding my child? How come is my child healthy? So even being a
Right.
pediatrician, I had a doubt. So I
Correct.
wanted your viewpoint. What
Yes.
is about obesity, raising obesity
Right.
index?
Right.
What weight is okay? Height is okay? What is that? When to identify whether the child is overweight,
Correct.
aptly weight? What according to you? What are we
Yes,
supposed
yes.
to do?
As you have very well correctly pointed out that nowadays, like, most parents do not recognize itself that their child may be overweight, because also it boils down to a general myth or a general understanding of the Indian parents or the grandparents, like overall, like, a chubby kid is a healthy kid,
True.
right? So I would say that it's important to recognize that like, your child can be overweight too. And how do you come to know that is basically your pediatrician would be able to help you, because they are the ones who will be measuring the child's height and weight. And it's not just about weight, but there is also a parameter called as body mass index, which is important. So we have like different curves or growth charts for height, weight, and body mass index, and that's how the pediatrician would be able to point out that whether your child is overweight or obese. And yes, as you have rightly mentioned, like there is a rise in the incidence and prevalence of overweight and obesity, because I would say that even I am an 80s kid.
Hmm.
So, like at the time in the class, if one or two kids were there, now I would say that, the prevalence rates of overweight and obesity are almost 25 to 30%.
That's pretty
Or
high.
maybe like in urban areas, it may be more than that. So it's pretty much increasing, and probably like the COVID pandemic also had a like quite a significant role to play, wherein the children were more into sedentary lifestyles, and probably the like chances they get for going out and playing have become very less.
Stagnated. They've almost
Stagnated,
stagnated.
yes, yes, sir. Because if you remember, like at our times, because this is what I tell
True,
all the
true, true.
parents, that once we come back from school, we would just finish our homework and run out of
Yeah,
house.
plaything was because there was
Yes.
no social media at that time. There was no
Correct,
media,
correct.
and there were a lot of friends and cousins.
Yes,
Mostly like
yes.
joint families. There were
Correct,
too many kids to
correct.
play around with.
Yes,
So there's
yes,
nothing.
yes.
Nowadays, it's only one kid,
Yeah,
nuclear
yeah,
family,
yeah,
and
yeah.
isolated families.
True,
So where do
true,
they play
true.
with?
Correct,
So and they have
correct,
so much of entertainment right on their lap. So
correct,
they don't
correct.
feel the urge to go out,
Out to
according
go
to me.
out.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I feel like, initially the parents had to call the children inside the houses, but now I think the parents have to make conscious efforts to push them
Push
out of
them
the
out of the
house.
house.
Then
True, true,
just
true.
go play, run.
So at that time we
Yeah,
used to get banged for playing outside.
correct.
Now I think a time has come, you have to
Yes,
push
yes.
them out,
Push
to
them
go and
out.
out and play
Yes,
at least
yes,
as a
yes.
mandatory part. That's
Correct,
really
correct.
unfortunate.